Oh my days. So Counter-Strike just launched a new update and it's very interesting. So first off, we've got a spectator loadout. So when you die, you can inspect what your teammate is going in the game with, what skins they have and what they're rocking. So I think that's pretty nice. It's kind of pushing more the aesthetic of skins, which, you know, is currently the big hype around Counter-Strike is the Counter-Strike skins. Compare this to the gameplay, esports, the anti-cheat, the skins is what gets the most love, and it's getting even more love now, which I'm not complaining. And we have the new collection, the Genesis collection, which has a really interesting system, which I'm going to get to in a minute. But the skins look pretty nice. People were saying this is a Valorant Vandal. And I kind of can see it, but I think it's quite nice. It's not my cup of tea though, but I do like this M4A4. It's really nice green texture, nice black. It's very, very nice. And you also have this MP7, which is something that I'm 100% going to cop when all the prices go down. So maybe in a couple of months time, because at the moment, the prices are very crazy. So in your weekly drop, you can claim a Genius terminal. Obviously you have to be lucky and get it. Some people have got cases. I was fortunate enough to get one, so I was very lucky. So obviously you pick it through and I was like, oh, and then you get to open it. So you don't pay, you don't use a key, you don't do anything like that. You can just open it straight away. And it comes up with this menu. And you can choose either to buy this skin through Steam. So you have to have funds in your wallet, your Steam wallet, and then you can buy it through the game. So you can either buy the first one you get, or you can roll again and say not worth my bullets, and you hold it down and then it re-rolls another one. So you can have multiple re-rolls until you decide which one you want. There is a cap though, so obviously if you have something good, you got to risk it to get something better, so it might not be worth it. I didn't want to re-roll it because I didn't have a lot of money in my Steam wallet. I just kind of wanted to see what would happen if I bought it. So I bought it for 59 cents and this came directly out of my Steam wallet. This is what comes up. CS Original Owner Certificate. So through this case, and I think only this case alone, you get this CS Original Certificate. So if you trade it away, this certificate is most likely lost. So if you unbox something really good, this will also be tagged on as well. So if you unbox a red, you have this Original Owner Certificate as well, showing to everyone else that you are the one that unboxed this, which I think is a nice feature, but I really wish this was implemented like 10 years ago, because imagine seeing someone with like a ruby or a sapphire or emerald and having owner certificate on it. Like that would be an absolute flex. It's like, I didn't buy it, I unboxed it. I got the 0.001% chance of getting this knife and this this phase on it. So I think that's quite cool. But this is where it gets a bit tricky, because mine costs 59 cents, which I think is more than it should because it is a blue, but it also is inflated because it's a brand new box that just came out. However, if you come over here, you can see how much the reds really cost. So this guy got a StatTrak FAC new red full throttle, and it's going to cost him 1.58 grand to buy it. Like, I know usually the boxes are inflated, so maybe they're calibrating that all the skins when they first get, you know, unboxed, they go on the Steam market, they're really, really pumped and inflated. But 1,587 I think is a bit too much, especially for an M4A4 skin. Maybe if it was an AWP, then potentially. Plus, there is no exceedingly rare pulls in this case either. It's just a normal case with only gun skins. You can't get gloves, you can't get knives. So it's quite interesting that it's so inflated. So hopefully what Valve's gonna do is gonna go down in price when more people unbox these, but I don't see a lot of people actually buying this skin, because if it goes off like what's on the Steam market and it calculates its price through that, and because there's obviously none on the market, it's calibrated to 1.5 grand. I just don't see people buying it, and that means the rarity is going to be less and less because no one wants to spend so much money on a red skin. So I don't know how it's going to go, but I think it's an absolute scam to be at 1.5 grand, especially there's so many people getting these skins as well. Here's another example. Someone got a minimum wear FAC new, which is $500 as well. So it's just kind of crazy to see the price that Steam has kind of And it also depends on the float as well. So they've calculated the float of the item. So this is a 0.0 float, which is quite rare. This is probably the lowest float one that's ever been unboxed. Well, I don't say unboxed, it hasn't been bought yet, I would say. So that is probably the lowest float. And obviously there's no pattern difference, I don't think, for the full throttles. It's all the same kind of one. So that is the lowest float, but you can see the difference. This is a minimal wear, right? 500, and then it's a grand increase, which is bizarre. So you have this one, Smoking Kills. We go to a purple, $57 for a FAQ new, which is not great. Mid-wear FAQ new float. And you also got someone else who has, oh my God, I can't see that. And this guy's got one for $9 for a field tested. And it looks pretty darn good. Like, I don't really see much of the difference, to be honest, in between the two. Like, obviously, because this guy's got mad saturation on it, you couldn't see. But Ice Cold, $12, field tested as well. And then you got another M4A4, which isn't stat track, and a very bad minimal wear float for $67. So I really do not know how they calibrate these prices. Another example is the AK-47 Oligarch, $370 for a FAQ new one. And the float is pretty good, it's a 009. And then you have another one, which is FAQ new again, but it's a 0.02 float for $415. So this one is a better gun, better float, and this one's a worse float, but more money. So I can't really comprehend or give like an actual factual response on how these things are priced, which is why I am suggesting don't buy any of these new skins. I don't see them, you won't see any profit. Like, everyone knows, a new case, if you buy it early, you're not going to see a profit. Unless you unbox something really good, and then there's another oiler waiting to buy that new skin because he likes new shiny things. But overall, I don't see how this entire scenario is good to make money. I opened mine, I got it 59 cents. I should have sold it on the Steam market for 20 bucks when I got it, but I was like, you know what? I wanted to give it a go. I wanted to see the new system, and that's what happened. And now I low-key regret it because now I have a 59-cent skin, but I am the CS2 certificate owner of that gun. But while I have you here, I do want to show you that the fracture case for Counter-Strike 2 has been moved into the rare drop pool instead of being in the, you know, the normal active duty pool. So obviously it's already been pumped. It's a long time coming. This game has been in the game for a long time. So it's been pumped nearly double the price, but obviously after a pump, it always goes back down. So it's up to you if you want to wait for it to stabilize again and invest some more money into the fracture case. It's completely up to you. But it is now in the rare pool. I don't think it's ever going to get pulled, but it's in the rare pool now, so it's going to drop less. There's going to be less frequency on the market. So obviously the demand will increase. Overall, it's not like an amazing case. The only really good gun would be the Desert Eagle Print Stream. I've got a legendary Anubis, or Legion of Anubis, sorry. I've got a Stat Track FAQ new one. It's a really nice AK, but compared to a lot of other AKs in the game, it's not really sought after. So it just really kind of depends what you guys want to go for. The Print Stream is a very luxury skin. The AWP, M4, Deagle, they're all up there. So it's really up to you if you want to see this being a long-term investment. There's no real pattern when it comes to the pricing of these skins, because I thought the lowest float would be the most expensive, but like I showed you before, that the StatTrak FAQ new higher float was more expensive than the lower float one, so who knows. But best advice I could give you would just be, if you get one in the drop, sell it. Wait a couple of weeks, see what the market's doing, see what everyone's kind of pumping, because there's been a lot of pumps, a lot of market manipulation. So I always stay away from skins and cases that recently drop. One, because I'm not spending, you know, 10 bucks for the first day to open them, and on top of that, the next week it always goes down. So unless you're a crazy unboxing fan who has lots of money, it just doesn't make any sense. But while I'm here as well, that's that. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents into the current new Genesis collection. I like the way that it's been presented. It's completely new, but it also begs the question that if they're trying to move away from the case and key, like gambling, and they've kind of respun the gambling kind of so they can kind of get away with it with international laws, because there is some countries like they had the X-ray P250 kind of skin that you could X-ray the case before you open it. Try to get past those kind of gambling laws. So maybe this is something that we'll see more of in the future, because obviously you can re-roll multiple times. And on top of that, you just buy the skin directly instead of buying a key. So you're buying something from the market, therefore it isn't gambling. So that's what they may be trying to work around. Obviously, in their day, it's going to make a shitload of money for them. They're going to be rich. They're going to be rolling in it like always. So be careful of what you buy. Stay away from it. But obviously, if you go in, you get lucky. I don't know what to tell you. It's just not it. You know what I mean? Because whatever you buy, you spend $1,000 on a skin, you put it on the Steam market 7 days later, and then no one buys it, and then you sell it for $400 and you lose $600. You know what I mean? So at the moment, just way too risky. Too many parameters, too many fucking variables to consider. Just sit out. Let's see how it rolls out and then go from there. Oh, also one more thing. I just wanted to add this, that tomorrow is 1 week from when they did the latest update of removing the gallery case and the stickers. So either it's going to be completely removed tomorrow, or it's going to be removed next week. So it'll be like a 2-week gap instead of a 1-week gap. They did a big update now, so I don't see them doing it, but they could still do it. So just be careful of that. Also the gallery cases, the 7-day trade window will be up. So people that got the news and put all their stars in the gallery cases are going to be all putting them on the market. So the market's going to be flooding with more gallery cases. So the price might drop considerably, especially if it goes for another week of hiatus before they remove it. So be careful of that as well. It might be a good time to load on gallery cases in the coming week if it hasn't been removed tomorrow. That's my plan anyway. I'll be buying gallery cases if it doesn't get removed tomorrow, and the influx of people trying to sell it and trying to get some money from the gallery cases. That's what I'm going to do. Also invest money in this, like my last video, buy some stickers, buy those craft stickers, because they're not going to be dropped. They're not going to be moved away, because why would they put stickers into the weekly drop pool, because there've never been stickers. And people saying that gallery cases are going to be put into the active map duty pool makes no sense, because they want people to use the armory. They want people to spend money on the armory. If they take the cases from the armory to the active duty pool, that just shows people that, oh, I shouldn't invest money into the armory because it's going to go into the active duty map pool later on. So why would I waste my money on stars? So do a bit of critical thinking. It's not going to get put in the active map duty pool. I'll put my left nut on it. All right. If they do, it makes no sense from Valve. It makes no sense financially at all. But anyway, enough yapping. I'll catch you in the next one. Mwah.